Hello everybody, and welcome back to Caskin Points. Today we're going to try something fun from the Michter's distillery, Bomberger's PFG. So this is a brand new release with $140 MSRP, and to my knowledge, it has absolutely no relationship with the actual Bombergers that's released every single year, so I have no idea why it was released under the Bomberger's label, but it's really cool. It's basically Bomberger's, but it's a red label, it's really nice, and I'm going to read out exactly what it is because it's pretty complex. So this is straight from the Michter's website here, and I'll show it on your screen, and let's read along a little. So, the year 2025 marks the first release of Bomberger's PFG, which stands for Precision Fine Grain, Kentucky Straight Bourbon. The focus is to be precise at every step of the Bomberger's PFG production process. Bomberger's PFG is made by first aging Kentucky Straight Bourbon in a new toasted and charred oak American oak barrel. After full maturation, the Kentucky Straight Bourbon is removed from the first barrel and placed in a second new, custom, proprietary toasted and charred French fine grain oak barrel of the most exacting specifications. These barrels are toasted at a tightly defined temperature range for a precise period of time before they receive a select charring. The whiskey is matured in these second barrels before being dumped into small batches that undergo our signature filtration prior to bottling at 100.2 proof. The Bomberger's PFG finishing barrel is a blend of wood from various origins, including the revered Tronclos, Allier, Nevers, and Vosges forests. I probably butchered those names. It is constructed from wood that has been naturally air-dried outdoors for a minimum of 40 months in France near the Charente River, which is a unique seasoning environment influenced by humidity, microflora creation, climate, wind direction, and elevation. After the seasoning, the staves are hand-selected to construct the Bomberger's PFG finishing barrels. It's a lot of words. A lot of weird things went into this barrel of whiskey. But let's find out if it was all worth it, because, look, that sounds really fancy and really interesting. Now, I will note, the MSRP is $140, so not that much more than the normal Bombergers, which is between $80 and $90. And to be honest, the secondary on normal Bombergers is about $150, so this MSRP is even lower than that secondary on normal Bombergers. So they did a lot of stuff here, and they didn't absolutely kill us with the price, but the secondary market on this is, interestingly enough, really holding together at about $300. It hasn't dropped at all in the last few weeks, so apparently people really like this, and I'm not sure how allocated and rare this is. I don't know if we have a bottle count or anything. If I could find any information, I'll put it on your screen, but all I know is that Michter's did something really, really weird, and for some reason they put it under the Bomberger's label, even though it's totally unrelated to the normal Bombergers, I believe. But let's try it and find out just how good this whiskey really is. In the nose here, there's a ton of raspberry jam. Really strong medicinal cherry on it as well. Getting a little bit of chocolate on there too. Like chocolate-covered strawberries and stuff like that. It's nice. There's a lot of caramel and vanilla as well. The oak profile there is definitely interesting. You definitely have a really rich oakiness to it, and there's like a nice mustiness to it as well. A little bit of tobacco in here. There's a lot going on this whiskey, and it smells way hotter than 100.2 proof. Wow, let's try it. Wow, just an explosion of flavor. Starts off with that nice raspberry jam. Gets into that really, really rich oak and vanilla and caramel. And then towards the late palate, it actually comes back with that jam. There's a little bit of that medicinal cherry. A lot more medicinal cherry on the nose than there is on the palate, which is nice. I don't really love that medicinal cherry. But wow, that's a very complex pour. Now, obviously, I think we all know that, doing, a mixture of wood from Tronclos, Allier, Nevers, and Vosges forests, and, doing things near the Charente River. Obviously, we all knew that doing those things would give this exact flavor profile. So, it's really all about how well Michter's did that flavor profile, because when I mix those four, I don't know, that's really weird. Really interesting the way that Michter's did this. And I love the story. Look, bourbon is all about stories. This is certainly an interesting one. Certainly some very complicated French wood that went into this. Wow. And it's good. It's good. It's very unique. I mean, this is nothing like Shanks or Bomberger's, so I have really no idea why they decided to put this under the Bomberger's label. If anybody knows, definitely let me know down below in the comments, but I haven't really been able to find anything as to why. but it's really, really nice, really raspberry and cherry forward, which is not something that I really get at all on Bombergers. And I've tried the last 3-4 batches here. Nothing like this. I mean, those are much more standard, you know, cherry and oak and vanilla, more classic bourbony flavor profiles, where this is pretty much drinking like a wine finish. I mean, this isn't a wine finish based off the information we have, but it's a weird finish nonetheless. Very precise finish. It's very nice though. Let's take a second sip. It's good. I will say, well, it's really hot on the nose. On the palate, it's not nearly as hot. It's actually drinking pretty straightforward. It's pretty similar to like ASW Fiddler's Georgia Heartwood, which is like a very jam-forward whiskey to me. This is really nice. It's not $300, but it's a cool story. And for $140, I would probably pay that for this whiskey. Like, just for the story, just for the fact that it's Michter's. I don't know if they plan to do this again. Obviously, it does introduce this by saying the first release of Bomberger's PFG, so we may be getting other releases of Bomberger's PFG, which would be pretty cool. And it's nice here. We actually do have tasting notes, which I didn't go through, and I don't really like to go through tasting notes before I drink whiskeys because I want to see what I get on the whiskey, not what they tell me I should get on the whiskey. But they say burnt sugar, spice, chocolate, opening up into floral. It says opening up into floral, doesn't say into anything else. I'm not sure if my notes here are just cut off. But I definitely got the chocolate, and yeah, burnt sugar, spice, I could definitely see that. On the palate, it says a beautifully integrated and complex whiskey bursting with exquisite fruit and spice. A lot of fruit, a lot of spice, yeah. Surrounded by toasty, sweet notes and an elegant bouquet. And then finishes full-bodied, luxurious with creamy mouthfeel that is lingering soft spice and chocolate. Yeah, I think those are fair notes. I definitely get the chocolate. I definitely get a lot of that fruitiness here. I think they may be underplaying that fruitiness because this is really, really fruity. But it's nice and it's unique, and I think if you like that kind of sour mash that's typically on Bombergers, I definitely get that sour mash funk on this. Like, it almost smells like you're in a warehouse, like in a distillery. Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, it's a great pour of whiskey. I don't think it's a $300 pour of whiskey, but I think it's a $140 pour of whiskey, which is good. I don't think normal Bombergers or Shanks are $140 pours of whiskey. I think those are $80 pours of whiskey, like their MSRPs. This is really, really nice. Now, the sample was provided to me by a good buddy, Kona, so thank you so much, Kona, as a supporter of the channel, and I really appreciate you sending me the sample so that I could review it. So funky here. It's really, really good. I'm just not blown away. And look, it's 100.2 proof. I don't typically drink 100 proof whiskeys. You're getting so much flavor for that proof, though, and there isn't really any roughness around the edges either. And I'm not sure why they went with 100.2. I can't imagine that's cask strength. But I also think with these kinds of things, I mean, if it's really that precise with all this stuff, they probably tried it at a bunch of different proofs and determined that this was the best. But I still like my stuff at cask strength more. But anyways, let's take this final little sip here, and let's give it a rating. Oh yeah. And the chocolate has grown on every sip. And there's definitely a good amount of spice in there as well. I'm definitely getting that creaminess, that butteriness. It's very good, but it tastes 100.2 proof. I mean, it's a little bit flat. Like, it's not that robust. It's not that, what is it, full-bodied, luxurious. Look, it's medium-bodied. It's pretty luxurious. I don't know if it's that luxurious, but it's good. Take the last little sip here. Very jammy forward, very fruit forward, but also really growing into that nice chocolate on it, which, you know what is really nice? I do really like chocolate notes on my whiskeys. That Woodford Redux was just a pure dark chocolate bomb, so, you know, if you like dark chocolate whiskeys, definitely check that one out. This one here definitely gives that to you and really gives you a nice jam as well. To be honest, this is actually pretty similar to like Peerless Double Oaked, but better. Like a good bit better than Peerless Double Oaked, with those kind of chocolate-covered strawberries and the kind of spice on it and that butter and that cream that I would typically get from like a Double Oaked product. Yeah, I mean, it's all there. Look, I don't know what, you know, the Tronclos, Allier, Nevers, and Vosges Forest woods are supposed to taste like, but I can tell you that they taste pretty interesting. But 100.2 proof, I don't taste them all that different from a lot of other things. But it's good. It's a good whiskey. It's a complex whiskey. It's a unique pour of whiskey. I'm going to go ahead and rate that a 7.8. I think it's worth $140. I think even pushing it closer to 175 I could even pay for. I wouldn't pay more than that though. I think $300 secondary, hopefully that tames out a little because I don't think it's worth all that, but it is good. And thank you so much all for watching. Thank you Kona for sharing the sample today. I don't know if Michter's plans to do a bunch of other things, but this is an interesting, fun, one-off release. I'm glad they released it. I'm glad we got to try it, and maybe we'll throw it into a blind sometime soon and see how it stacks up against some other random things. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.